Well, hello, hello. Why does it look frozen? It is frozen.
Yeah, because I'm not on there either.
Awesome. Hey guys, if you could hear me, I have to redo my thing here. Always gotta be something. It's still not working. Can y'all hear me at least? Let me know.
See, they can't see me, they can just hear me.
Alright, let's see if it will go now.
Go, gadget.
No, still nothing. Are you kidding me?
It's okay, okay, you don't need to see me. I look crazy anyway.
If I shut this whole thing down, I don't want to have to do that. Why? This is so stupid. Grr, I say.
Sometimes we go off without a hitch. Sometimes it's all hitch.
I tell you what. Well, just imagine yourself on a podcast. Let's see if I can. Why are you not functioning? Alright, let me just get rid of all these. I swear I tested this before I started, guys. Not that you can tell.
Nee, 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 nee. Meow, meow.
Try one more time.
Everybody's so excited to hear you rail on cops for an hour.
Alright.
Just kidding, we're not going to rail on cops, don't worry. Not for the whole hour anyway.
Why is it not working? Well, that camera works. Hey guys, this is not my good camera. But it's on.
Oh, wait, no. Hey! Told you I looked crazy.
I'm gonna try to shut this down again. See if I can get it to work. Part of it. Alright. Alright, let's give it one more go.
Hi there.
Hey!
Does it work?
Yep.
What did you just have to unplug it, and plug it back in?
Yep.
How very Indian tech support of you.
Oh, yeah.
Have you tried unplugging it, and plugging it back in?
Yep.
Sorry,
As
that was
always, big red switch.
Scooch it over a little bit more, sir.
What? Oh.
Oh. Other way. That's good. Probably.
All right. How are we doing, fellas? Everybody hear me okay now that the camera's on? Could you tell a difference between this camera and the other one? The other one was the webcam that's actually on the laptop, whereas this one is actually a separate camera that I use for making videos and whatnot that I'm using for the live stream. And it's a higher quality, if you can tell. Let me know if you can tell.
I could tell, and I'm watching it on the laptop here. The camera on the laptop, I'm watching it on my laptop. The camera on your laptop is crap.
Yeah, well, it's, what this, how old is this?
14?
Yeah, 2014 is
10
my
years
laptop.
old.
I need a new laptop, too.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So who do we got here? Who's on board?
We have Oki.
Hey there.
Oh, man. We have Oki and we have TC.
Hey, TC was just on the premiere with me.
Why is this in the butthead? Oh my gosh. I hate my laptop.
How's Vivian doing there, TC? She with you? I've changed the colors in the back of the studio, and I don't think you can tell. This one on this side is blue. This one over here used to be red, and I changed it to orange, which is the opposite of blue, and it still looks purple. To
Yeah.
me.
Everything was...
So.
I'm sitting right here and I did notice.
Yep.
Viv says hi.
Hey there.
What's up, Vivian?
How you doing, Miss Thing? We gotta find a way to hang out again. TC says he's not feeling well.
What's wrong, TC? Internal issues, I think, is what he said.
Yep.
We hope you feel better.
All right, so let's kick it off with what's been going on with us in the channel. We're back from Texas. For those of you that tuned in on Independence Day when we were off in somebody else's house, we came back safe and sound and have been working hard on editing content from the Thunder in the Smokies from before we left. The first video from that series went out literally right before this live stream. And I'm also currently working on the Breezy Rider video, which is part 2 of Thunder in the Smokies. We also have a product review that we're going to be doing for them. I am literally testing out the product at the moment. I am going to go through every kind of scenario I can to give you a good review of that. If you have any questions specifically about that product that you want me to address, let me know. But I'm putting it through not just, oh yeah, it looks good, but some miles, right, to really give it a good test for you guys before I'll be releasing that. Also, Viking Bags is sending me another bag that they want me to review.
We have so many bags!
So we will be doing that as well. And then, of course, we have the Texas adventure that we just went on. So lots of stuff going on here in the editing suite specifically. I also got Alchemy back, kind of. I gave them several solutions. If you remember my rant that I did the other week, I gave them several solutions. They acquiesced to my solutions, and so I got the bike back partially finished. And then once they get the other parts in, then she's got to go back in the shop to get those finished. But I'm able to ride again, so I am a happy camper as far as that goes. So that's what's going on in my neck of the woods here at the channel. So let's see. Rally News. Did anyone go to Iowa Freedom Rally over the holiday weekend? I was hoping Leland would be on here to let us know, because I know he was working it, to let us know what he thought, because I know he was going to be there. So I'm kind of curious as to how that went. That was in Algona, Iowa. And then those of you that are on here, what did you do for the 4th of July? Did you do anything fun? Did you go anywhere? Did you have friends over? Did you sleep? What did you do?
Did you drink some beers?
Beers? Did you have a good time?
Did you have some beers? Did you light some sparklers?
Yep.
Did you blow off a limb?
We didn't even get to have any fireworks on Independence Day because Texas, I don't know if it was just the city that we were in or if it was the whole state, but this year they outlawed them because of a drought or something, and they're worried about people catching things on fire. So generally speaking, I think it's legal there, but this particular year it was not. So of course that's the year that we went. We didn't get to play with things that go boom.
Probably for the best, because a couple years ago, this one decided to play the hero and jumped in front of a bottle rocket.
Was not a bottle rocket.
What was it?
It was a mortar. What's called a mortar. It was a big deal. Bottle rockets are little.
Okie says he hung out with friends and drank some bourbon.
Oh.
I don't know that I've ever had bourbon, actually. I'm sure I have, but I don't remember.
Bourbon is fancy whiskey.
It's really sweet, if I recall.
My grandfather used to love it. It was his liquor of choice.
Beverage.
Outside of beer, of course. He liked beer. We're also over here on Instagram again. I cannot get Instagram tied in through OBS yet. So that's why you guys are kind of off on your own over there.
It's like you're eavesdropping.
Yep. Facebook is on here. Twitch is on here. The only ones that we are responding to in real time as far as chat goes is YouTube, which is, of course, our main platform that we're on. So if you want to chat with us, go on to the YouTubes. But you can watch us from any of the things, and that's cool. Actually, you might be able to open up the Facebooks and see if you can.
This is Instagram, though, right?
Yeah, but it's on Facebook too. Maybe you can chat with folks on Facebook.
I can chat with folks on Instagram, can
I? Yeah, you could do that too.
If I have too many things running, it's going to slow down your system.
Yeah, that's right. Just look at the Facebooks.
You go here?
Maybe it's your notification. Oh, maybe it didn't go.
I don't know. Oh, wait, hold on.
No, it looks like it's not there.
5.
Oh, is that? No, that's last time.
That's not.
All right, so looks like I did not turn that on. So we're not on Facebook, but we're on Instagram. That means it's probably not on the Twitch either. It means it probably did some updates on my system.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so let's see. Rallies that are coming up. Gettysburg starts today. So Gettysburg Bike Week is going on right now in Pennsylvania. Our buddies from Breezy Rider are up there. So if you are there and you get a chance to stop by, tell them hello. And let them know that Graybeard Biker sent you. And again, we have a promo code for their product. It's Graybeard 2024, and you can get 10% off. Now, that will work on their website, but it'll probably work if you go to their booth as well, if you see them at the rally. I'm pretty sure the dealerships that they're in probably won't honor it, but if you go directly to them, they probably will. So, yeah, there's that. I was hoping to go to Gettysburg, but it's not really... again, near anything, and I have tons and tons of editing that I have to do.
He's got homework.
I do. And then after that is Little Sturgis, Kentucky Bike Week. Whether I go to that or not will depend on a couple of different things, workload being one of them. But that is the 17th through the 21st. No, it's not. It is 17th through the 21st. It's in Sturgis, Kentucky. And they, of course, have all the things that you normally see, concerts, bike shows, etc. It is a 21 and up rally, and Camp Easy Ride is going to be there. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to go to it, but I will definitely be considering it as we move forward. I don't have any commitments up there that I have to go to, so I know that. We have somebody on?
Yeah, Terry Turpin's on. He said that he went to AmVet's first bike night in Commerce on the 3rd. Just a lazy day on the 4th.
Commerce, Georgia? Are you local?
Terry? Where you at, Terry? Where you at?
Commerce, Georgia is not too far from where we are, I believe.
Maybe it's Commerce, Pennsylvania.
It could very well be a completely different Commerce. There's all kinds of...
Commerce, Canada.
Athens and Perry's and Paris's.
Marysville, Georgia.
Oh.
Maysville. I said Marysville. Maysville, Georgia. Where's that at? I don't know.
I don't know. Let me look.
Google.
You've got me curious. I'm going to look and see if I can find where that is.
So many Atlantans.
Maysville.
Or metro or suburban Atlantans.
Map. All right. All right. Yep. That's right near Commerce. You are right up the street from us, sir. You're about 45 minutes away, which I consider right up the street. I don't know if you are aware. You may already be a member on there. We have a Facebook group for people that are in the Metro Atlanta-ish area. So you can go to it. It's called what is it called? It is called Gwinnett Motorcycle Rides and Events. It says Gwinnett because that's where most of us are from, but it's for people from all over. So be sure you check that out, and that way, whenever we're doing a local ride, we always talk about it on there. So it would be great to see you on one of those. You did sign up for the group. Good.
So Oki and I are talking about bourbons. So I asked him what his favorite brand of bourbon is. Mm-hmm. For those of you just joining us, Oki enjoys a nice bourbon. And so I don't know that I've ever really had it that I can remember. So I was asking him what I should try. And he says his favorite whiskeys are Angel's Envy Rye, which is actually a whiskey, not a bourbon. And he likes to mix it with ice.
Bourbons and whiskeys are really close.
Yeah. And then Knob Creek, which I've heard of, is a great choice, especially if you get the 12-year. I mean, like aged 12 years. Mm-hmm. And Woodford Reserve is good. So I will be checking that out. And if I don't like it, I'm going to blame it on you, sir.
Yeah, if you think about it, we actually do check out a lot of the recommendations that we get from you guys. I actually went in, I don't know if you've had a chance to see the Maggie Valley episode that was just out. I went to Country Vittles because a subscriber recommended it to me, so I checked it out. We also went to our barbecue review that we're going to be doing for this year up in the Maggie Valley area, was also a recommendation that was given to us. So yeah, we do actually check out the things that you guys say. All right, so let's see. Other notable rallies for July. There is Roar on the Shore, but as far as I know, that is still canceled. That is in Erie, Pennsylvania. It used to be a pretty big deal. They shut it down, I believe, in 22, maybe 21. There was rumor of it coming back this year, but as far as I know, it has not. So that, if you were thinking about that, or if you're from up there and let me know. But as far as I know, they have not brought it back. That was literally put on by Erie, Pennsylvania. So it's a big deal if they pulled it, then they're not putting funding in to do it again. But the other thing that is going on this month, on the 24th through the 28th, is Wild and Wonderful Mountain Fest Motorcycle Rally in Morgantown, West Virginia.
That sounds like a mouthful.
It
Can
does.
you say that again all at one time?
Wild and Wonderful Mountain Fest Motorcycle Rally. I think Wild and Wonderful is probably like a I don't know this, but it's probably like it sounds to me like a water park or something, like Putt Putt.
Yeah.
And they're probably sponsoring Mountain Fest Motorcycle Rally, so they get title sponsors. That's what I'm
Well,
guessing.
that's because you're used to, like, what is it? What do they have here? Well, white water. White
water, yeah.
White water?
Yeah. That's the name of our water park here in Atlanta. Anyway, this event has been closed down. And so it returns for the first time after 5 years this year. So it is a new thing. It actually was not even on my list until somebody told me that it was returning this year after a 5 years hiatus. But it has lots of mountain rides, bike shows, entertainment, all the things you would expect. Their big draw this year is Kentucky Headhunters. I don't know if you remember that band. But there was a band, a one-hit wonder type of band for most people, that was the Kentucky Headhunters, and that's who's headlining.
What was their one hit?
I don't even know.
You were like afraid I was going to ask
know.
that.
Yeah, okay. You have to Google it. I have no idea.
Okay, what is it?
Kentucky Headhunters. Does anybody know? Does anybody remember what their hit was? I know I've heard of them before, and I know that they were a deal, but I can't remember any of their tunes at all. It is a event that is all ages until 6 o'clock and then 21 and up after 6 o'clock, which is weird for a bigger rally. Most of the 21 and ups are relatively small, but this one, from my understanding, is rather sizable.
Oh, Lonesome Me.
Yeah, I do not recall it. It looks like that was the biggest one, number 8.
In 1990.
Oh, it's country songs. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't know.
Well, it's like outlaw country. It's like rock and roll country. It's like southern rockish country. TC has their album, but he doesn't know the hit.
Oh, well, it looks like it's Oh Lonesome Me. So feel free to play it in your spare time and think of them on the 24th through the 28th when
it's not the number one best song, though. The 10 best Kentucky Headhunter songs are Dumas Walker, Honky Tonk Walkin'. Yeah, very country. Hold on. Honky Tonk. Where did it go? Okay. Let's do it this way. The number one was
don't you hate those
Dumas
places?
Walker, and then Honky Tonk Walkin', and then the Ballad of Davy Crockett.
It sounds like a cover.
My Daddy Was a Milkman.
Yeah, these must be deep cuts.
Walk Softly on This Heart of Mine. Rock and Roll Angel. Oh Lonesome Me. Redneck Girl.
Redneck Girl, that sounds familiar, but
Chug-a-lug.
that could be any country song.
It's a redneck woman you're thinking.
What types of music do you guys listen to? What is your main music genre that you like? I could be outnumbered here.
TC got that album for free when he worked at a record store.
I used to work at a record store too. I worked at I didn't work at Turtles. I worked at Record Bar.
Oh, Record Barn.
Record Bar.
Bar? Oh.
Mm-hmm. And I worked at Sam Goody. Worked at both of those. Classic rock. Good choices. You know, the things we grew up with now are considered classic rock.
Mm-hmm. Vintage, like Motley Crue.
Yeah, I know, right? What's that song? When did Motley Crue become classic rock?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. But anyway, they have scenic rides in Mountain Fest of the Appalachian Mountains, as you would expect. So, haven't been to that. We have a couple of guys that are from that area, but they are not on right now. So we cannot ask them about it. But if you are looking at this later, let us know in the comments if you've ever been to this one, because I'm curious. Now, the next one that is coming after that, the 25th through the 28th, is going to be Harley Homecoming, and we are definitely going to that one. So that is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It is celebrating Harley's anniversary. This event is... They used to do it every 5 years. Last year was evidently very lucrative for them. Last year was 120th. So they've decided to do it again because they're capitalist. But I had a good time. So we're going to it again this year. If any of you guys are going, let me know. The bands for that include Red Hot Chili Peppers, Jelly Roll, Hardy, The Offspring, and Cypress Hill. I will not be going to the concert because the concert is the expensive part that you have to pay to go in to see the concert. And while I would pay for that for Green Day and Foo Fighters last year, I'm not paying it this year for Jelly Roll, who I don't know.
Jelly Roll's really good, though, actually.
Well, I like Red Hot Chili Peppers, too, but not enough to pay what people are charging for concerts nowadays. So, so that's that. There is one of our subscribers, White Line Rambler, that said he was going, and I invited him to be on the live here, but he's not here either, so we're not going to talk to him about that either. But he is supposed to go, so maybe we can meet up there and talk more at that. Let's see, and then of course after that is Sturgis, the big one. August 1st through August 11th. Are there any rallies that you guys are planning to attend later this year? Maybe some.
You need to change that.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's upside down.
Upside down?
Yeah, it's upside down. That's supposed to be. No, it's not upside down either. That's odd. I'm gonna change that right now because I can see.
That's gonna look weird. Oh. You're going to do that and it's going to mess something
See if it changes it in real time.
I don't know.
All right.
Oh, it did. Wow, weird.
Anyway.
It's Big Gulp Day.
So, yeah, what are you guys planning on going to any rallies later this year? Anything that I need to pay particular attention to? TC, are you going to go over to Thunder Beach in Panama City for the fall rally? Because I'm considering going to that one as well. We didn't get to go to Panama City for spring, so I'm planning on going in the fall. So let me know if you guys are going to anything. Okie says he cannot make it to Sturgis. I cannot either. You want to go to Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. I haven't been to that one either. And I want to go to that one, but it's far away from here. But I am definitely thinking about it. It's one. I like to go to ones that I haven't been to before. We were talking about this earlier. Which ones have we gone to this year that we haven't been to before? And that was the one in Alabama. Was new for us this year. The Sarasota was what's that? Thunder by the Bay. Was new this year, but the rest of them I think were all reruns for us. Helen, Biker Nation was new for us this year, but I think the rest of them were all reruns because they're local. Last year we went up to Lake of the Ozarks was our big one, and the year before that was Laconia, which was quite a ways away.
Yeah, but that was great riding.
Yeah, it was.
Like through Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Are you serious? It's crazy. TC says he's going to try to do Thunder Beach if he feels better.
Well, hopefully you're
not so sick that it's going to be months and months of
yeah.
sickness. That's no good.
I'm going to start trying to make plans to head out there myself. So if you're going to be there, definitely let me know.
They are doing the Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue in Eureka Springs this year. It is 300 miles from me. Little town is a cool place to see. And that's in Arkansas. Yeah. Pretty cool. Yep. Arkansas is far for us.
Let's see
it's
how.
About 10 hours.
Let's see. I'm going to
MapQuest. Wait, MapQuest isn't a thing. I'm going to plug it into my TomTom real quick.
Springs, Arkansas. It is 12 hours.
Yeah, 11 and a half, 12 hours away.
12 hours driving for us.
Yikes.
And you know what that means on a motorcycle.
I don't know how far away that is from Horseshoe Bend. Horseshoe Bend?
Well, there's
Yes.
There's a Horseshoe Bend all over the place. There's one in Alabama.
No, Arkansas. Is it Horseshoe Bend, Arkansas? I know there's Horseshoe Bend, Indiana, but I mean Horseshoe Bend, Arkansas, I think. That's where my aunt lives. She lives on Pony Lane on Horseshoe Bend, I think.
Well, that's curious. Let's see.
But it's like the middle of Nowhereville. Horseshoe Bend. Yeah, Horseshoe Bar in Arkansas.
All right, it is.
2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's
Still
3
pretty
hours
far.
away. So that's as far as.
Yeah, because Eureka Springs is on the
it's
far
further.
side.
Yeah. It is one. I've heard good things about that one though, but we've actually never been that far west. Actually, I don't know if that's further than Galveston. We've been to Galveston.
Terry
so
says he's going to do the fall Thunder in the Smokies since they have never been to it. Only a couple of hours away. Yeah, it is. It's very close to us.
Yep, we did. Obviously, we just did the one in the summer, but we did the one in the fall the year before. So that video, those episodes are up as well. That's
a great time to go.
Yep. If you look at our playlist for Thunder in the Smokies, you'll find it. It's also linked into the episode that I just released today, which is summer. But yes, I love going up there because it is so picturesque. You're in this. Well, if you see the video, you'll know. But
You're in a valley.
The whole thing is it's in a valley. It's in a pasture that is surrounded by mountains on all sides. It is awesome.
And there's lots of good riding, like on the way to Cherokee and around.
Well, there's lots of good riding if you were to go up there and have long enough to stay also, because the Blue Ridge Parkway is right there. I want to go up there sometime when I'm not having to do Graybeard biker duties and just play. You know?
Mm-hmm. Terry says he's going to check out your videos.
Yep, do.
Good idea.
Do. I don't know if we might make it back up there again for fall. It depends on where it falls. I'm also planning on doing Smoky Mountain Bike Week, which is new. This will be their second year. So I'm definitely planning on doing that this year as well. And that's not too far either.
When is that?
I would have to
Is it
look
the
it
fall?
up. It's far enough away that it's not on my list anymore.
I will consult the magic 8 ball that is our calendar.
Ladies in Leather is September 12th through 14th in Oklahoma City. Do you know about that, Okie? Ladies in Leather. That's not one that I'm aware of, but that's in September. You might be more familiar with that than me.
Yeah, I don't believe you have it on here.
It would be which one are we talking about now?
Thunder in the Smokies. Wait. Motorcycle rally in the fall.
Yep.
Yeah.
September 6th. Yep.
Got Jack again.
Yeah.
Every year, without fail.
All right, so now let's move over to our conversation. So I wanted to dive into a topic that has been on the mind of many bikers over many decades now, and that is the relationship between cops and bikers, motorcycle riders. The movie The Bikeriders is what got me to thinking about this, because in it, if you've seen it, this is not a spoiler if you haven't,
Everybody dies! I'm just kidding.
the cops are scared of the motorcycle club. And so they got me thinking about the relationship, and so I thought it would be a pretty good topic to talk about. In the Wild One, the juxtaposition is there with the town cop as well. So there's been a biker cop thing for a long time. And so I thought, this subject has history. It's got, we could all have our own personal experiences, stories, that sort of thing. So I kind of wanted to talk about how cops treat bikers and share some of our experiences with each other, some stories that we may have, discuss laws that may be specifically affecting motorcycle riders over the last 50 years or so. So let me know what's been your experience with cops while you've been riding on your bike. Have you had mostly positive interactions? Have you encountered some challenges? Kind of how has that been going? Share some of your stories with us and keep an eye out for them.
Popsicles, roller bacon.
Yeah.
Take your pick.
And we'll kind of talk about that. I'll start here since there's a delay before you actually get to hear what I'm saying. Typically, in my experience, cops have come up to me and they're trying to be cool, right? They're, oh, hey man, I like your bike, blah, blah, blah. And typically that's the response that I get most of the time. So I haven't had I've never gotten pulled over by a cop on a motorcycle. I have in a car, not on a motorcycle. So I haven't really had any bad experiences that way. I have had some odd questions thrown at me from them. So they'll come up to me in a positive way, and then they'll ask me about the area gangs. Because obviously I'm involved in the motorcycle counterculture, and I must know all of the gang activity that's going on. So I've had that happen, but that's really the only experience that I've had with cops that way. However, when I was a kid, I had a dirt bike that I rode to my girlfriend's house, which was all the way across the other side of town. So I'm all of 15 years old or whatnot. And I know I don't have a license or a street bike. I have a dirt bike. So I'm riding off-road along the side of the highway all the way there. And her dad, her stepfather really, was a sheriff's deputy. So on the way home, you guessed it, I got pulled over. So I got pulled over, and he asked me for my license, and of course I didn't even have a learner's permit. So I gave him, when you get your wallet and they have the thing that you fill out with pen, yeah, that's what I gave him. So, but he let me go. I think he was just trying to scare me or whatever.
He's trying to show you his boss.
I didn't. I mean, I wasn't on the road, right? I was on the grass beside the road, not even on the edge. I was like, dirt bike, you can do whatever the hell you want, right? You can go through anything. So that's what I was doing there. So that was interesting. I also had, back in my club days, I had cops called on us before, particularly when we were at gas stations. One of our favorite pastimes was to screw with the normies. And so we would basically freak people out, and we had a ball doing it. We would put, one guy would put his old lady on a dog collar with a chain and drag her around the gas station. Was he really like that? No. Did it freak people out? Oh yeah, it did. We would ask people how much their children cost so we could buy them. Just things to mess with people that were gawking at us because you're
now that we're older, we're constantly trying to sell our children to other people.
So we did that. We had the cops called on us for that more than once because we scared people. But we were usually gone before the cops ever got there. So that was fun. However, on the whole, I guess I haven't had any really negative experiences or stereotypes or being prejudged, except for being asked about, gang activity is the only really prejudging thing that I've had. What about you guys? Tell me what you've had from any experiences you've had, because I know you have. Have you been pulled over when riding your motorcycle? If so, what was the reason? How did that go? Right? Do you feel that bikers are often treated differently by cops compared to car drivers? And if so, how? So let me know. Let's talk about it.
I have theories.
What's your theories?
TC says nothing on the bike.
Yep.
Oki thinks that you're a glutton for punishment since you dated a girl whose dad was a cop. My theory on...
Stepdad. I didn't know him. She didn't like him. It's all good.
He likes him with daddy issues. Anyway, my theory on cops and motorcyclists is twofold. The first one is I think cops do have a particular hate on for watching bikers consume alcohol at the rallies, because they know that they're just going to get behind the handlebars of a motorcycle, and it's even extra dangerous for them to be on the roads, because it's already dangerous for them to be on the roads because of motorists, like car motorists, running them over.
Well, four wheels is dangerous enough.
Yeah, and so I think, and I completely concur. I'm not going to be sitting here taking the side of cops this whole time, but I probably will a little bit. But I think that we have to understand that that we see a lot of alcohol consumption. That's, I also think, y'all need to think about it. Every time you're on a motorcycle, you're all carefree, the wind blowing in your hair, you're on a motorcycle, you're listening to your music, and you're passing a cop who is on duty. Like, he's at work, and he's in a uniform. He's wearing like 40 pounds worth of gear, and he's just watching you all footloose and fancy free on your motorcycle. So yeah, he's probably be a little pissy, or he's at least going to be jealous.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where it's coming from. It's like, oh wow, look at you, just walking around.
If you look at the cops specifically at rallies, they have to deal with the idiots that are there, right? The people that are, doing wheelies and spinning their tires and revving their engine like they're some sort of moron while going down Main Street. So, yeah, they definitely, a lot of them will have issues with those people. But I haven't run into any issues with them because I sympathize with them. Nobody wants to hear the crotch rocket all the time. Nobody wants to hear that.
No.
So I'm off. Give them a ticket. Go ahead.
Oki says that it might be because I ride a cruiser, but I've not had any interactions with the cops. From my experience and what I've been told here in Oklahoma, as long as you're not being an idiot, they leave you alone.
Yeah.
That's pretty fair to say for anywhere.
Yep. Well, like I said, my most of my experiences have been positive. Because, it's just, you think about, people think kids are scared of bikers. They're not. We're like a cartoon character to them. So my experience,
like a superhero.
Yeah,
you ever seen a little kid look up at you when you pass by him on the bike? They always look up at you like you're a superhero.
Yeah. So I've just had positive experiences with cops' children. Karens don't really like us too much.
That's because you're loud. TC says that cops tend to mess with sport bikes.
Yeah, and I can understand that.
So.
I can understand that for
they're
sure.
Annoying.
Well, they are. That's a whole other conversation. But to me, sport bikes are built for speed. They are for the racetrack, and they are very good at that. If you're not using it for that, i.e., you're grocery getter and you're going to work and you're commuting and all that stuff, you are just, it's begging you to take it 120 miles an hour. You're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, that's why when you see people like in the suburbs or like in the city, they get like a Lamborghini. And it's like, you have a thoroughbred in your stable and you can't run it.
Right.
I mean, you pull over a Lamborghini going 150 miles an hour. Well, yeah, I got a thoroughbred in my stable. So don't buy a thoroughbred if you have nowhere to run it. Yeah. Sorry, that was like an analogy.
Well, I had a guy that, if you saw my my reminder video that I did this morning about the thing tonight, the guy that I was talking to that came up to me on the street, he literally pulled up beside me at a red light and was complimenting my bike. He was on a crotch rocket. And he was a great guy. He had, admired my bike, and we had all of 2 seconds.
Did you say you admire his too?
No. We had all of a 2-second conversation. But, nice guy. And we didn't ride next to each other long enough for me to see what kind of rider he was. But, different people like different things. I don't want to lay down while I ride. I just don't.
No.
So
watching the pavement go underneath you is weird. Oki says, if you want to ride fast, go to the track. It's not expensive. He says, that being said, I could have some fun on a Yamaha VMAX. Yeah. I mean, they're fun. They're lightweight, zippy little things. But, I'm a low and slow cruiser kind of girl.
I tell you what I want to do is, and we actually have this here. Terry, you may actually know of this. Durham Park. It is a motocross park where you can take your dirt bike, and they have a bunch of trails and jumps and all that sort of stuff, which would take me back to my childhood. I would love that.
There's no way your knees could handle any of that.
Well, I can't speak to that until it happens.
You got half a century old knees.
But I think you can rent bikes there because, of course, I don't have a dirt bike anymore. But that would be really fun to be. I haven't done
your son wants one.
Yeah, I haven't done a donut in a long time. When's the last time you guys did a donut or a wheelie or a car or a catwalk? That's just
What's a catwalk?
A catwalk is when you ride on one tire.
Is that a
Preferably
wheelie?
the back one. A wheelie is just popping up. A catwalk's when you ride.
Oh, when you
on
actually ride it. Oh.
Yep.
That sounds dangerous. That sounds expensive, potentially.
Well, you don't do it on a Harley that costs tens of thousands of dollars.
Harley? Okay.
So, but I used to do it a lot when I was a kid, for sure. Let's see. One of the other things that are laws that are for bikers specifically, one of which is the helmet law. There's a lot of people that debate that. But that helmet that law started in the 60s when there was a big movement to suppress the biker subculture. What are you doing? Waving?
He's waving.
Oh, it says wave. Somebody's on Instagram. Hi, Instagram. Can you read their name from here? Renee
Galton.
Hi, Renee.
60. I got
but
my glasses on too and I can't see.
but all of these motorcycle-specific laws happened when the mainstream public was fighting against the biker counterculture of the 60s. Which, if you listen to the Bikeriders movie review that I did, where I went into the history of the outlaw biker, a lot of that is that same exact thing. They started coming out with laws to suppress the counterculture. And helmet laws were one of those things. Now, a lot of people support helmet laws. I support your right to choose to do whatever it is that you want to do. But that's a whole conversation for another day as well. There's also laws that they put in place, like noise regulations. If you're being too loud, and that changes depending on what township you're in, right? There's certain decibel levels that you can get in trouble for. And that, I mean, like I said earlier, with the crotch rockets whining their motorcycles super loud.
A lot of little rice burner Toyotas do the same thing, though.
That's true. But, I mean, I can understand where that is annoying. But my bringing it up has to do with the fact that they made that as a way to harass and, subdue the bikers of the 60s. They also had the handlebar height restrictions. And some of those laws are still in place.
Why? Is it because it impedes your ability to drive safely?
No, it's because they were wanting to get rid of the riffraff that was bikers. And one of the things that bikers do is customize their bike. Customizing their bike by changing the muffler, changing their handlebars, changing their... I mean, I had a guy in my club that he had a Japanese bike, but he made it a hardtail. He took the shocks out of the back. You customize your bike. And that changes things. And the people that customized their bike, as opposed to going with what's stock off the showroom, were considered the counterculture and riffraff, and they were trying to get them to move along and not being their town. So that's where kind of all of that came from. And some places still have these laws, and they are different everywhere they are. Ape hangers, which are the big handlebars, there are some that are obnoxious, of course, when you're riding up way like this. But for taller people, depending on how tall you are, depends on how high your handlebar should be. I don't give a damn what the law says. If I'm tall enough that they need to be a certain number of inches, that's what they need to be. So
you're getting very worked up about this.
So I don't like people telling me what to do. So that's another law that came out of that time period. Then there are laws that did not come from that time period, such as lane splitting or lane filtering. That is a motorcycle-specific law. A lot of people, particularly people on sport bikes, really think that that's the safest way for them to ride, which I can talk about. I'm going to do a video episode coming up soon about top 10 tips for defensive riding. And so when that comes out, I'll talk more about that. But that's, something that's up for debate as well. The other thing that really casts a shadow from a legal standpoint is the anti-gang legislation that started to come out in the 80s and 90s. That's things like, RICO and gang injunctions and things that they made up to fight organized crime. And what they've done is they've kind of grouped all bikers into that, and they are harassing people with this legislation. Not that, sometimes it doesn't actually, there are criminal activities that do happen in motorcycle clubs, but it's not all of them, right? So that's another piece of it as well that happens. And you can get looped into that really easy, and they can abuse those laws really easy and you find yourself having to defend yourself against it, even if you're not an criminal organization club. You could be, the Wingman, which is a Alcoholics Anonymous club, which has nothing to do with organized crime. But if you're going through, Podunk, Alabama, they can use these laws trying to say that you're a gang. That's not right. I don't think that's right.
Oki says, I bet those same guys were passing laws in opposition of the motorcycle culture, like how their small blocks sounded with headers.
Yep.
That's very motorcycle targeting.
Yep, that's the mechanic talk. Yeah, but there's been a lot of things like that. There's also things that they can do. They can, if they think you're part of a organized crime, a gang, they can give you more enhanced, they call it enhanced sentencing, where they give you longer, harsher sentencing in a court because you're in a club. That's not right. I understand they're trying to deter organized crime. The problem is, where's that line is not something that's easy for another human being to determine.
Yeah, they need to crack down on fraternities.
Yeah.
That's where organized crime is.
But, there's a lot of stuff that's, and a lot of that came out of the 80s and the 90s. A large piece of it had to do with the OL and HA war, the Hells Angels and the Outlaw War that happened during that time period. Because that war got rough.
Banditos are all in hell's shit right now.
A lot of that from that time period, the anti-gang stuff came from there. But the other laws were from the 60s. They're from way before that. And, we have a tendency to, once we make a law, we hold on to it. For example, in Georgia, you're not allowed to have sex with your window open. Because your neighbor...
In Georgia?
Yeah, your neighbor might hear you.
Rebels.
So there's a lot of these really weird laws that are on the books like that. So, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on these things. If you have any stories of anybody with their cops, what's your experience been? Is it like mine where we just don't get harassed as much as other people seem to?
Do you think age matters? If you're a young guy on a bike versus like an old graybeard guy?
Of course, yeah, I think it does. I also think that whether you're in a club makes a difference too, because I've had people trail me when I was flying colors a lot more than I had cops trail me when I don't. So I think that makes a big difference too, and it's profiling, and so I think that definitely makes a difference. One of the things, we still had. That's not even a club thing. A bait in Georgia, which is the motorcycle lobbying group for the government in Georgia. Every year we would have a helmet protest run that would go from south of Atlanta all the way up to the Capitol in Atlanta. And we'd get hundreds and hundreds of bikes. And some people still wore their helmet. Some people did not wear their helmet. Obviously, not wearing your helmet is against the law here. But the idea was, and they told us all before we ever left, if anybody gets pulled over, everybody stops. And once you stop, you take your helmet off too. Because the idea of a protest is not to be harassed by people. You're literally trying to make a point. So there's things that we did like that. And you know what? We never got pulled over for that. We're talking, we would ride for an hour going to Atlanta, hundreds and hundreds of bikes, all of us, most of us, willingly breaking the law. We never got harassed once, and cops would be there with us because they understood what we were doing, right to choose. So that's another thing that, a cop interaction that I've had.
I would assume that you feel just as strongly about the right to choose a seatbelt.
I feel like I am very, very, very anti-nanny state. Don't tell me what to do. Yes, I do. I feel that way very much. Now, children is another story. You want to impose things on children that don't, they can't...
Developing brains.
Yeah, they can't make quality decisions for themselves. We've all seen it.
It's not just that they can't make decisions for them. It's literally because their brain isn't done developing.
Yeah.
So you want to protect it with, everything you have.
So
a couple broken front teeth are fine though for kids. It's good. It builds character.
But there's a lot of places that have helmet laws that the helmet
Chad.
laws are only for the children. Who are you talking to?
Chad.
Oh, hey there. A lot of times the helmet laws are only for children or for people of a certain age. If you're 18 and under, if you're 21 and under. And I think making laws for growing people is one thing. But for an adult, don't tell me what to do.
Oki, you're singing Oki's song because he says, "Preach, Graybeard, I am a grown man.
Yep.
I can't go without a seatbelt."
Growing up, we didn't have seatbelts. And
I'll be your safety seat. Click.
I remember growing up, once the seatbelt law first happened, my father would take it and buckle it behind him so that the buzzer would stop.
He does that.
I don't do it at all.
Well, not in your car, but when you know how like when you get into somebody else's car and it just keeps beeping, and like the car is like the driver's like I can't go unless you put your seatbelt on, and Zachary will be like okay, and so he'll put the seatbelt on and then promptly put it right behind him.
It's uncomfortable. I am not small.
You know what? I don't want to hear it. Women have problems to deal with seatbelts.
That's true. But really, my issue is on principle. Are safety belts, seat belts, a good idea? Most of the time, probably, depending on what you're doing. Going to the store right up the street, going 15 miles an hour, not really.
If you've ever had a seatbelt save your life, you realize it.
Yeah. So I don't have a problem really with that, people that argue that. I have a problem with the whole idea of the government telling me what I can and cannot do. If I want to wear it, I want to wear it.
And I think that's the difference between you and I, is that I don't have a problem with helmets. I support helmets. I think that you should protect yourself on the bike. I think you should protect yourself from idiots that are going to hit you on the bike. And I think wearing a helmet is a really good idea. However, I do understand and respect the idea that no one should tell you have to wear a helmet. Mm-hmm. I do think you should choose to wear one, but it should be your choice. Another
one of the arguments that you hear from people that are pro-helmet law, because there are tons of them out there. Some of you guys may be pro-helmet law, and I'm pissing you off. A lot of them are not only pro-helmet, but they want, full-face helmets. But what a lot of people don't understand is the whole half-shell helmet came from the cops. Before that, we had the stupid little Marvin the Martian helmets that we had to wear.
With the broom on top?
But the cops had the half shell. And so we started wearing the cop helmets. And now half shells are more popular than the others. But before that, I don't know if you remember the ones that were, Marvin the Martian sort of...
I think it's helmets. Like Evil Knievel sort of helmet, right?
Yeah, well, that's what he had to wear.
Don't we have an Evil Knievel behind him?
We do.
Does he have a helmet
on?
Let's see. No. Evil Knievel here. Lighting. He's without a helmet. The lighting is awkward today, by the way.
So I had those, with a little plastic shield that snapped. You remember, you know what I'm talking about. If you were riding back in the day, you know what I'm talking about. That's... Anyway, there's more laws than that in Britain. In Britain, they have laws about having to wear the whole armor thing.
Oh, really? Even just like on a cruiser?
Yeah, there's even more laws over there than there are here, as far as that goes. But for different reasons, because they didn't have the whole biker counterculture problem issue, whatever, that we did here. The other interesting thing, I think, about the whole suppression of the biker subculture in history is a lot of that was in California, which is...
Color me surprised.
Yeah, which is now one of the most liberal nanny states that exist, and that's where most of the biker counterculture thrived. Right? That's interesting, right? So, all right, guys. So, anybody have any stories to tell me? Anything else to discuss?
Oki says, if you want to wear a helmet on a motorcycle, then wear a helmet. It's none of your business what I do.
That's right. Absolutely. I agree. I'm going to, and I think I mentioned this before, as far as helmet law stuff goes, I'm going to do an episode that talks about both sides of that. But a lot of research has to go into that before I put that out there. So that's why I have not done that yet.
On what?
Motorcycle helmet laws. Both sides. Because, it's good for people. I believe that knowledge is power. If you have an opinion, it should be an educated opinion. If you do not have an educated opinion, shut up. And don't vote. Just vote. The dumbest advice ever. If you don't know what you're doing, sit your ass at home. All right, soapbox. Soapbox.
I was taught to Christmas tree the Scantron tests.
Oh, no. All right, guys. So if you don't have anything else for me, I'm going to wrap this thing up. And I am thinking about moving the show instead of every Thursday to do it every other Thursday. And one of the reasons why I say that is there was a bike night tonight locally that a couple of guys wanted me to go to that I could not go to because I was doing the show here. One of the reasons that we've kind of started doing this show was because YouTube gave us Super Chat as a way to support the channel. And we haven't really done a whole lot with that. So, there's a lot of work putting this together, rushing to be here every week. So I may be making some adjustments there. Let me know what you guys think about that as well. Kind of changing this instead of doing it every week, doing it every other week. It would make it a little more difficult for me to remember, when it is and when it isn't, as opposed to it being every week. But I think that may be something that we do. That way we can also hit the major events that are coming as far as Rally News goes without really having to repeat ourselves every week because, you talk about what's coming and then the next week it's there, so you kind of repeat yourself doing it that way too. So that's kind of some thoughts I have on this particular show going that way.
We got someone on here named Mailhog. Too much government in our lives. Helmet laws suck, which is on his shirt. Helmet laws suck. I don't need big government to make me wear it. I do wear a helmet and have worn one for the last 40 years, FYI. Right? Yep. I mean, you choose to wear it because it's your choice. This
shirt, by the way, is for sale in our store, which you can get to at the bottom of this video, I'm sure. Bottom of all of our videos.
Oki says he wants to check out some of the bike nights. He's never been to one. And he says, and I will be in the side chat for your lives as long as I am free.
Oh, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you.
I
appreciate you. Yeah, bike nights are interesting because they're local, right? It's all local people just coming together at a restaurant.
Yeah, it's good fellowship.
Yeah. If you know people. If you don't know people, then it can be awkward.
That's why you got to make friends.
Unless you're an
take a shower
extrovert.
So you don't stink.
Right.
Go there. Comb your hair to one side, make friends.
But this one that's local, tonight was its first night. It's new. This is the first time they started it. And so those of you that are local, I'm talking about Bubba 33. So I will probably go to that. It happens once a month, so I'll probably go to it next month. It's on the second Thursday of every month, according to Darren.
Oh, so that's why you're like, I'll never get to go.
Yeah. So, I can always do the show from there if you guys really want me to keep it every week. But
might be nice because
depend on the
Oki's
feedback.
never been to a bike night, so you would be able
to show him along with us.
You would be able to show him a bike night.
So I'm sure that I'll be doing some. If I start doing that and there's an episode in there, I'll definitely do one. So
you took him to Helen.
Yep. Did that one in Texas.
Oh gosh! All right, y'all. If you were here for the Texas one that we did last week. I drank way too much moonshine. I drank almost a whole bottle of apple pie moonshine, and it was rough the next day.
Did you guys see that Independence Day?
I might have been embarrassing.
You haven't gone back and watched it, have you?
I haven't. No.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you next go around. I hope to have more videos out in the coming week. I hope to have at least one more coming out, if not two, from the Thunder in the Smokies. The first episode from that series was released right before this, so if you haven't yet, go check that out. It will be the latest one on our channel page. And other than that, we will talk to you later on. If anybody has it wasn't here live and you're watching this, let us know your feedback down in the comments. We read them. We read them
do.
all.
I stalk you like the prey you are. What?
All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, guys.